Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the GAMA Trade Show 2016. I'm Eric Sommer here with Mike Selinker from Lone Shark Games. Mike, welcome to Vegas.
Hey, were you the first people to come to Vegas? I didn't.
We're not the first ones, but
I see. Okay.
we set up an outpost here in this little corner.
I just assumed I just assumed you.
It's not our place.
Oh, you didn't create Vegas.
Yeah, we're renting.
Oh, good. Well, I'm happy to be here.
So Lone Shark Games sort of made its like debut last year at GAMA as its own independent studio. You're pretty much known for doing designs for other folks.
Yeah.
And so let's start with what's coming up for those other folks before we get to your own product.
Sure. Well, a lot of people know us for the Pathfinder Adventure card game, which has been going for a couple years now, and thank you for making it your number one game.
I love this game. My kid loves it too.
That was awesome. We've announced some things for that. We have Mummy's Mask, which is I think our best set ever. That's coming out later this fall, and the Goblin decks, which are crazy and nutball nonsense, and that's coming out this summer. And Goblins Fight and Goblins Burn. And I think people are gonna totally dig that because it's just we took all of our insane stuff and put it into one place.
And so the Goblin decks are not a full set.
They're like class decks, except they pay no attention to the rules. And but yeah, it's that's going great. Good plans for that in 2017 as well. Just things are going well there. And we've been doing some things for other companies too. We just helped launch Shadows over Innistrad for Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Did a giant set of escape rooms in Detroit, Melbourne, and Sydney all on the same weekend.
Oh boy.
It was insanity. It was the biggest launch we've ever done, and people just went crazy for it. We had costumed angels and giant cathedrals that we built and just all this nonsense.
Wow.
So we're real happy with, we get to work with the coolest people and we get the coolest toys. And so yeah, we love, people are like, oh my God, you guys are going independent. You're going to stop doing everything for everybody else. And no way. Not if they keep rolling up with this awesome stuff.
So it seems like you've barely had enough time to work on your own projects, but
There's a little bit of
have
that.
found a niche of time.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that. We definitely have a balance. We have strong commitments to people, and we definitely make those. But now we have strong commitments to other people. We've had a couple of big Kickstarter campaigns, and those people we take extremely seriously. And so we're going to get them some pretty cool stuff this year.
All right, so let's. What do we want to talk about first?
Sure. So we, as you said, we started to publish our own thing. People may know this, The Maze of Games, which is the book that we showed off on the Dice Tower last year. And so we're like, okay, I guess we can make a thing by ourselves.
Okay.
And then we decided to make what might be literally the largest game in the world. It's called the Apocrypha Adventure card game.
Yes.
It's right here, except this is only half of it.
That's only half of it.
Yeah, and this weighs 8 pounds. It's massive. We decided to make something that could play extremely well as both an RPG and as a standalone card game.
Right.
And that was a terrifying goal because everybody was like, you can't. That's not a thing, right? Because one of those is going to suffer, right?
Yeah.
When we're there, and we're like, no, it's not. So this is a card game with, I don't know what the exact number at this point, 72 pages of story content.
Oh, wow.
And it's got over 1,300 cards, and it's set in the modern day, but it's got settings all over North America. There's essentially 10 different campaigns built into the game. The general concept is that you are people who can see that there are monsters in the world even though no one else can. And and it is by far the richest, deepest game we've ever made. It is every single piece of art has some sort of hidden information in it.
Yeah.
every card has something that you don't expect. Every card has flavor text on it. The stories are by the best people in the world: Pat Rothfuss and Aaron Evans and Keith Baker and Wolf Bauer and just Jerry Holkins from Penny Arcade. Just the biggest, all the best authors that we know. And so I mean, we went all out. It's got some like 600 pieces of art in it. We're hoping that we're just a couple months away from being done with it.
Okay.
Like, we're like
So close.
Turns out 600 pieces of art is a lot of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's not all quite in yet, but it's coming in. It's the best art we've ever made. I mean, by far. If you go to any of the Kickstarter updates, you will be blown away. Or go to the Lone Shark page. It's the most beautiful game, and hopefully be out real soon. And it's just, I don't know, one of the biggest things we've ever done. So I think it's going to be great.
So after this one, we're moving on to the ninth world.
Yeah. So while we were making Apocrypha, we were like, okay, this is going to be a major, major project. So let's go let's do a smaller thing.
Okay.
Right? And then that sounded like a really good idea. So my friends, Paul Peterson and Bo Radakovich, came to me with this game, and it was a really nice, core, tight little game engine. I was like, I totally want that. And now I'm going to complicate it quite a bit. Because that's kind of what I do.
Let's see what I can do to this.
Yeah, but this is the ninth world.
Okay.
The ninth world is set in the universe of Monty Cook's Numenera.
Numenera.
Yeah, and it's 1 billion years in the future. So what we did is we made a game that allows you to explore one of the most rich and positive worlds that's been out there. Basically, the world of man has come and gone over 8 ages, right? So there's all these civilizations that have crashed and burned, but they've left all this stuff behind.
Okay.
Right? And you're just walking along the roadside. You're like, oh, look, there's a thing that looks like a combination blender and crab. Let me put that on my head and see what it does.
Okay.
Right? And that could have some negative consequences or some really positive consequences.
Okay.
It is a brilliant world. As soon as I started playing in it, I was like, this is the best thing I've ever, best RPG that I've played in a lot of years. It has one of the great character generation concepts of all time, which is that characters are, I'm an adjective, noun that verbs.
Okay.
Right, and so what you do is you like get it. Okay, I'm a clever automaton that tears through the landscape with fire, right?
Sure.
Or whatever. And so then you build a character concept around it. Now this isn't an RPG. This is both, but it is both a competitive and a cooperative game.
Okay.
It has a cooperative mode that, quite frankly, we weren't actually planning to put in the game, and then our Kickstarter backers really wanted it.
Demanded it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we made it, and it was actually just as much fun as the competitive mode we've been playing for a while. So it's really good. This is a toward the end of the year release for us.
Okay.
And
basic mechanisms here. What are we sort of game are we talking about?
So the name of the game is The Ninth World, a skill-building game for Numenera. And everybody goes, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
A skill building.
Yeah, so a skill-building game is this. Unlike a deck-building game, you get a deck of cards and you bring cards into it and you refine it over time. But you randomly pull those cards out. And we're like, that's fine, but that's a lot of guesswork. Let's give you 5 cards. And those cards you will build over time. And so you always have 5 cards in your hand, no matter what. And you build those up, you build those skills the way you want to do it. Then you go out on a landscape of the Ninth World, a different place. Each one is very different. Each location is very different. And there's 10 of them in the game. And you go explore these locations and bid over the course of the game for, I'm going to scout now, I'm going to do combat now, I'm going to do some things, and you get better at those things over the course of the game. You continually get into conflict with other people over what it is you want to get. And even in the cooperative mode, you discover that the world is trying to kill you, so you have to plan against that. And you go out into the far landscape. You come back, hopefully a greater and more enriched adventurer.
Okay.
And that's basically it. I mean, it's a really revolutionary mechanic, this skill building thing, and I think there's going to be a bunch of these kinds of games. And I guess I get down that road a lot, right? When I come up with a new thing, or my friends come up with a new thing, we're like, okay, I guess this is what we can imagine this doing. And then somebody else comes along, or we start playing with it again, and wait, it can do this thing too. It can do that thing. So that's kind of what happened with the adventure card game mechanic, and I think that'll happen with the skill. So
you said the end of the year is what you're looking at.
Yeah. We're expecting that. The apocrypha is sort of blotting out the sun for us at the moment.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, but we've been actually commissioning quite a bit of art and new developments on this as well, and I feel like both of these are going to be in the hands of customers, before they know it.
Very quickly, you're working on a very light game coming up as well.
So you don't lose like all your time to these giant games and not come up with a bunch of different
silly ideas to fill the spaces.
So my friends Paul and Storm made a song called Sausage Party.
Okay.
And I was like, I can write a game about that.
Sure.
So this is the first time anybody's ever seen.
Yeah, let's see some of these cards.
So John Kovalik came up with the general concept is you are making a grill full of sausages. And they're just, really fun little sausages, and you're trying to make the best, most perfect length sausages. Now, there's no double entendres in this.
No, it's just about sausages.
But sausages, as you probably guess, can't be complete unless they go in the buns.
Right.
Right. So again, no double entendre. Anyway, so this is the Ash Can edition. We took it out on a boat. It's the Joko Cruise. And played it with a bunch of people, and everybody loved it. Game takes about 2 minutes to play.
Oh wow.
It's up to 4 players. It's insanely fast and fun, and it's just in some sense, it's just a game that we were like, okay, yeah, we can make a game like that. We don't have to spend, we don't have to spend 2.5 years building a game.
It's got to be rewarding to be able to just knock out an idea and say, here, let's do it. Let's get some great illustrations.
It's so exhausting in some ways to make these giant games.
Yeah.
And when you can just come up with something and say, yeah, this is how it works, and everybody goes, yeah, that's how it works. Okay, let's get some art. Okay, the art's done. That's great, right?
So does that mean we'll see Sausage Party sooner rather than later?
It'll be sooner rather than later. It'll be with, when Paul and Storm are ready to help us release it.
Okay.
And like I said, it's like, people are going to look at it and they go, oh, you guys don't make that kind of game. And we don't, right? I mean, that's true. But
maybe that's the point.
But sometimes you just have to do dumb things, and this is one of those dumb things.
Okay.
So the last thing that we're working on now is another colossal project.
Oh.
And again, this is something that hasn't been really seen on the internet yet, and it's in pieces.
Okay.
It's called Thornwatch. So I'm sure some of your viewers have seen the fact that we are in the same building as Penny Arcade.
Yes.
And we've been great friends. Our companies grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
We helped build each other's companies in a lot of ways. And so they came up with this idea called Thornwatch, which was a game about a forested world where it's incredibly dangerous, and a whole bunch of essentially Boy Scouts called the Lookouts go out and save us from all these crazy monsters and terrible things.
The Lookouts are sort of a side project that shows up in the Penny Arcade comics.
Exactly. And the Thornwatch are these sort of ghostly superhero A-Team style spirits that show up and solve all the really big problems.
Okay.
There's also another force in there called the Daughters, who are sort of forest witches, druids, that sort of try to keep the forest going the right way and
Okay.
and not spinning out of control. So
So what sort of game are you building around that?
3 of them.
Oh boy.
So basically, we decided that we're going to make this massive interlocking project. It's called the Ironwood Adventures, and basically, it is. I can only show you pieces of it,
yeah,
as I said.
pieces are good.
But basically, it's a game where you build an environment on which you want to play.
Oh my.
There's this sense. You've got adventures that are deep. The characters are built so that it's like a comic strip.
Oh yeah.
So
you're sort of building
actually-
a comic panel
You're
here.
actually jumping from panel to panel in a comic strip, and there's little traps along the way that might. Wait, is this a narrative balloon? Essentially, like the basically says,
Yeah,
"Oh my gosh!"
okay.
So it's a totally different view of a game. All these games we make are these big top-down. We're going to stand on top of the world, right? And we're going to look down Stanley Kubrick style on this. And we just
Okay.
went, no, wait. Can you write a more intimate game where you actually want to, like, hey, I'll help you out. Right? And all of a sudden, this panel has changed.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is a very large project. It'll be, it's not coming out anytime soon.
This is just what you're working on
Yeah.
when you have some time to
Right.
work on.
It is, however, we're going to PAX East with another version of this. The design team is stellar. It's got Rodney Thompson, who did Lords of Waterdeep. It's got Chad Brown, who's the lead developer of the Pathfinder game,
Yeah.
and it's got me and the Penny Arcade guys, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to show you like a real version of this thing.
Yeah.
But it's real good, and I think that a lot of people will look at it and say, oh, those are those comic strip guys.
Yeah.
How could they be serious? Well, I think we're taking this
Okay.
really seriously.
Well, you have a lot of balls in the air right now.
We do. We're hoping that this is like a very long-term strategy for our company.
Okay.
And all it takes is the fans to come along and say, we like what you've done for other companies. We'd like to support you in the new stuff that you do, and I think we'll keep doing it for a long time.
Excellent, Mike. Thank you very much. Get to work. You got a lot of stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm going to take the rest of the week off.
Okay.
Is there anything going on
No,
here?
nothing else.
Gamma?
Thanks for watching.
Yep.
Have a
Thanks
good
a
one.
lot.